Hello guys, welcome to Sean's 7th pre-algebra tutorial today. And today we're going to go over from number 2.27. So let's go to a website and start. Okay, so 2.27. There is a 8-pound turkey breast contains 36 servings of meat, right? How many pounds of turkey breast would be needed for 54 servings? Okay, so there is 8 pound of turkey that can serve up to 36 people, right? And they're asking us to find how many pound should we need to feed 54 people. Okay, so this is a ratio problem. What does that mean? That means we have to set these two equations to each other, right? So one equation will have this 8 and 36. So 8 pound can serve 36 people. How about X pound can feed 54 people? So in order to solve this, we have to cross multiply, right? So we do that and we get what? 36x equals 432. Okay, so 36x equals 432. So the next thing we do, we divide by 36. If we divide 36 on both sides, we get x by itself, and x becomes 12. Perfect. So we need 12 pounds of turkey breast to feed 54 people. So let's see. And we got the right answer. So 2.28. The temperature in Minneapolis was 4 degrees on December 3rd. In the next 3 days, the temperature have dropped 2 degrees and then dropped 5 degrees and then dropped 10 degrees. So what was the temperature on December 6th? Okay, so on December 3rd, the temperature on December 3rd was what? 4 degrees, right? 4 degrees. And in the next 3 days on the question, the next 3 days, which is December 4th, December 5th, December 6th, right? Perfect. On those days, the temperature has been changed. On the second day, it dropped by 2 degrees. On second day, on this second day, the temperature has been dropped by 5 degrees. And on the last day, the temperature has dropped by 10 degrees. And we're looking for the temperature after this minus 10 degrees. So how should we set up an equation? So from 4 degrees, on the first day it decreased by 2, right? On the next day it decreased by 5. On the next day it decreased by 10. So we have to solve this and find the answer. And this is what? Final temperature, right? Final temperature. So 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 minus 5 is what? Negative 3. Negative 3 degrees, right? And if it gets colder by 10 degrees, what happened? It becomes negative 13 degrees, right? So our final temperature becomes negative 13. So let's see if that's our answer. Negative 13. Yep, we got the right answer. Okay, so the next question, 2.29. Add these two numbers and give the result in scientific notation. So they gave us this number, these two numbers. One of them is 3,470,000 and the other one is 750,000. Okay, so let's see. So they gave us these two numbers, 3,470,000, and they wanted to add this with what? 750,000, right? So let's first add these two. What do we get? We get 4,220,000, right? 4,220,000. Okay, so in order to find scientific notation, we have to put a point or dot right after the first number. So in this case, the dot will go right here, right after this 4. So if we rewrite this, it would be 4.22. Because these zeros are behind this dot and there's no number covering, these 4 zeros are meaningless now, so we can just ignore them. And after that, we have to multiply by tens. Okay, so from 4.22, how can we get 4,220,000? We have to multiply by a bunch of tens, right? If we multiply by 10, it will go this way. If we multiply again, it will go another way. And if we can keep go on, we'll get to 4 million eventually, right? So we have to figure how many steps, how many tens we have to multiply. So from this point right here, if I go once, it will be 42.2. If I go twice, it will be 422. So I have to go 3, 4, 5, and 6. I have to go a total of 6 places. So the answer in scientific notation will be 4.22 times 10 to the 6th. So this should be our answer. So yep, I see it right here, and we got the right answer. Okay, so the next question, 2.30. If X pairs of shoes cost N dollars, how much will Y pairs cost? Okay, so when we see these kind of questions, we have to write everything down because there are too many variables. It might be very difficult to understand. So they said what? X is equal to the number of pairs of shoes, right? Numbers of pairs shoes. How about N? N is how much it cost, right? When you buy X amount of shoes. So, and also they gave us what's the cost if they buy Y amount of shoes here. So Y represents the number of pairs of shoes, but it's different from X, right? And we're looking for this cost here. But what kind of variable should we make the cost to? We can pick anything except these three. But how about I pick $? That's a cost, right? That's a money. So I'll just put $, as my new cost. So we have to make an equation to solve for this $, because that's what we're looking for. So because this is a proportion question, I make this. So X amount of pair of shoes cost N dollars, right? And if you're buying Y amount of shoes, how much does it supposed to cost? Yes, $, much. So if we solve this, we would have to cross multiply and get X $, is equal to y, n, or ny. Doesn't really matter. And the next thing we have to do is we have to divide both sides by x. Then what do we get? We get $sign equals y n over x. Perfect. This looks very weird as an answer, but that's what we got. And here, so they put ny instead of yn, but that's the same thing. Click that, and we got the right answer. Okay, so 2.31. What is the least common denominator of these fractions? So this problem is finding LCD problem, right? LCD was what? Least common denominator. So they gave us these four fractions, 7 over 10 and 3 over 8, right? So because we're finding denominator, we don't have to worry about the numerator stuff. So just don't worry about these. These denominators are the ones that we need to solve the question. So we take these four denominators and we use that big L thing that we went over in the previous tutorials, right? So we have to pick a number that can be divided into at least two of these four numbers. So for example, 2. 2 can be divided into this one and this one and this one, right? So, but 2 doesn't go into 5. So because 2 doesn't goes into 5, 5 comes down as what it is, and 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 10 5 times, 2 goes into 2 goes into 8 4 times. Perfect. Okay, so the next number. For the next number, I would pick 5, right? Because 5, there are 2 5s, and I can divide those 2 5s with 5. So 5 goes into 5, 1, 1, and 1, and 4 stays down. So now I can't go anymore because I don't have at least 2 that can divide it. That can be divided. So I just take the leftover numbers and multiply all that. So it would actually be 2 times 5 times 1 times 1 times 1 times 4, which is 40. And let's see if that's right answer. So our LCD is 40. They have 40, and that's the correct answer. Okay, so that should be it for this tutorial. Thank you guys for watching this tutorial today. I'll be posting more videos, so please subscribe and leave questions on the comment below. Thanks.